Hey everybody, we are back for our final hour of Roleplay Blades. Oh man, good old Preceptor Dunville. He's got a lot of willpower, but he just couldn't hit his 6. So he did not stab himself in the neck. He got disarmed, and you guys are we're back to the sort of the top of the order here. Careless and Aldo are rushing forward. Miss Cataby has discovered something inside a pillar. And Rune and Myth are disengaged. You're free to do whatever you want. There are 3 cultists left alive. One of them is fighting a knight and is kind of screwed. 2 of them are teaming up on this knight here. And currently that's kind of a standoff between, like, the knight hasn't killed either of them and they haven't defeated the knight. So I guess maybe let's keep the camera on Miss Cataby here in this moment, because you've seen this thing, right? Like in the background beyond Miss Cataby, we see that interaction where Dunville tries to kill himself and Careless is throwing the blade and disarming him, and that stuff's going down as you're like looking into this column. Do you want to do anything about it right now, or do you want to go get back in the fight? What's your feeling?
I mean, I feel like my curiosity is definitely like at an elevated level, because still sort of unsure if this is something that could end up fucking us. So I think I'm going to keep my attention towards the source and try to figure out what it is.
Do you want to, like, the bricks, the mortar has come loose there, and the brick has shifted as if some force, there's like a gentle kind of thrum that happens inside the column, and one of the bricks goes chink and kind of comes out partly. You can reach in and pull the brick free and expose the thing if you want to.
Yeah, let me do that. Let me kind of like claw at this thing.
Yeah. So you snatch the brick out, and it's a stone. It's a strangely shaped stone that's iridescent. It's sort of purplish, greenish, blackish, iridescent in the light. It's sort of top heavy, like two masses of stone together and then tapering at the bottom. It looks kind of like a human heart. It's like a very roughly approximated heart cut of stone. There's 2 chains that have been hung inside the column that go down to a ring of metal that's been mounted in the top of the stone, and the chain runs through it. And the thing is swaying here, and when you pull the brick away, it goes thwum, and some air wafts into Miss Cataby's face from the thing sort of pulsing, and you feel it like in your heart, in your chest, this like bass vibration, like dum. And whatever vibe you got when you found that ring in the pawn shop that had been discarded as junk, you get that feeling again when you see this thing.
Wow. All right.
Oh wow, this is one of those things. It's Kotarian, for lack of a better word. Yeah, but that just takes a moment. Like, we're kind of focusing in the moment here, but it's not like you're standing there dumbfounded. You know, you just pull the brick out, and it's a quick little moment.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
I mean, I can like grab this thing now.
Yeah, you can reach in and pull it free. You can pull it free from the chain if you want to.
I'm gonna grab it.
Okay. Let's make an attune roll.
Oh god.
I know, it's not your best thing.
Oh god, it's like not a thing at all.
I know.
Can I interrupt him?
You can, yeah.
Or
you see this out of the corner of your
do you want to try this, or do you want me to interfere? Because if you want to go for it, go for it. I don't want to steal your thunder, but
I mean, maybe there is this like moment of like, what the fuck am I doing? It's glowing over here. Yeah, I just,
yeah. I was like crouched over the 2 guys that were like drowning, and I, out of the corner of my eye, see this like flash of light coming out of the column, and I see Miss Cataby kind of like reaching her hand toward it. I'm just like, Are you sure? Are you sure you want to be doing that? And I like run over there, and yeah, so I'll just roll my attune to see like what this shit is.
Marcus, just so you know, you can participate with it as a group action with Rune here if you don't want to cut out of the loop. If you want her to just handle it, then she can do it on her own. But otherwise, but then you won't sort of like get the benefits of the attunement.
Yeah, I think knowing that it like possessed sort of the same feeling as the artifact, I do want to be involved.
Yeah, I only have 2 stress, so that's fine.
And you can lead if you want to, Marcus. Rune doesn't have to take the lead. It could be your group action that she's sort of like stepping into if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that makes more sense here because you're kind of the one that has discovered it and is making the first move.
So still roll my attune.
Yep, you guys are both going to roll attune. We'll take the best of the 2 rolls, and it is risky for you, Marcus, and it is desperate for Rune.
Desperate?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You could die. It's fine.
Give me that
So
XP.
I just attune, normal attune roll.
Normal attune roll. I mean, you can push yourself if you want, but if not,
See the effect?
I'll push myself.
Yeah, push yourself for 2 stress, and you get at least 1 die to roll in that case. So
Okay.
that's better than 0.
So I just
5.
bonus die 1 then, right?
Bonus die 1. Yep.
All right.
Okay, 5 from Rune. Can you save Rune from the nope?
Rune will save herself with a resist.
That is a success. So you guys attune together. Again, this is a little like awkward in the middle of a fight. It's not like this is taking a long time. It really is just glancing over at him and at her, and as Miss Cataby reaches in and pulls the thing free, you guys like join it together and attune to the thing. So again, we're sort of like bullet timing it a little bit in the background, careless, and although we're running in slow motion. So it's a success, Miss Cataby, and you feel connected to this thing in the same way you did the ring. As soon as you take it into your hand, it's yours. You're like, oh, this is mine. I must have lost it, and now I have it again. And that's what it feels like. It feels like this familiar.
Precious.
Yeah, and you got a 5 here. It's not perfect, but you get this dim sense. As soon as you touch it, out of the corner of your eye, you see Aldo, and you see Rune, and you see Dunville in the distance. Not careless for whatever reason. You can see, and it like in the TV show special effect, you can see their heart. Like detective vision from Batman Arkham. You can sort of see this faintly glowing heart in these other people in the room, and you feel the beating through the stone in your hand, and their hearts beating. This connection. You don't really know what it does exactly, but you realize like, okay, yep, I'm feeling it, and you start to get that, just like you did with the ring. You didn't know immediately what it did when you first got it, but you're attuning to this thing, and it's starting to sort of reveal itself to you, this artifact. Unfortunately, normal people who don't have your history we don't yet know why Miss Cataby can use these artifacts, but they are not safe for other people to handle. And Rune, you're able to guide Miss Cataby's novice attunement mind safely into conjunction with this artifact. And as you do that, this is different. This isn't the normal stuff you deal with, the ghost field, and like it's very familiar to you. This is like toxic almost. It's like acrid acid smell in your nose. The energy is like corrosive. That's what it feels like. It's like searing back at you. So it forcibly ejects you from the connection. So the two of you aren't attuned to it. Just Miss Caterpie.
Okay.
And it's gonna do mystical harm to you, which you can resist, of course.
Nah. It's not gonna harm me.
Yeah, it does level 3 mystic harm. And it's not physical harm. You don't get burned. It like breaks your connection to the ghost field. That's what your level 3 harm here is. You just get like cut off from your powers essentially, and from myth and everything. It like shuts it down. But you can resist that.
5.
Nice. You take 1 stress, and you avoid that problem with your whispery powers.
Sweet.
Yeah, it tries, and you shunt off the energy. And we actually see that.
My brain is like a surge protector.
That's right. The old surge protector move.
Yeah.
The energy manifests briefly in the real world, and there's this crackle of, instead of blue lightning, sometimes that's what the ghost field does. This is orange, glowing, just like the heart was thrumming with power. There's this orange glowing energy that kind of comes off of Rune's head and crashes into the walls. It rebounds off the bubble of water on these guys that are still drying to death on the floor. And you shake it off. It passes back by you. Meanwhile, Carolus and Aldo are reaching Dunville in the background. You rush up to him. Technically, Aldo, you go first, but Carolus is kind of, taking the lead here. So you want to say what you're doing. Zeke, you can interrupt because of your reflexes, but otherwise, what do you do when you?
Yeah, we just like get up to him and he's writhing and holding his hand or whatever.
Yeah, he's still fighting, still trying to drag his leg out. He sees you coming and like flails around towards the daggers that have been discarded near him, but he can't reach them.
I'll let
poke himself to death with his bare hands, so he kind of like glares at you angrily. He's pinned. He can't do what he wants to do.
I'll let Careless talk, but while he's talking, I'll just go and pick up the blades.
Oh, gotcha. Yep.
I'm kind of like looking down at him, and there's just like people getting stabbed and shit behind me. And I say, Preceptor Dunville, I was hoping that we could make this a little bit easier, but it's going to have to be the hard way. You have information and you know people that my associate Aldo is very interested in, so I'm going to turn you over to him in a moment. But I do want to remind you there are worse ways. Well, we already know there's worse ways to go than just death. Death doesn't have to be the end of it. So I expect you to be very forthcoming, as is the takings of this altercation. If you're not, Rune back there, who, if you missed, drowned 2 people on their feet. She's quite gifted, that one. She will rip your soul out, and we will do things like enslave it and just tear it asunder for forever. You will not know a good ending beyond death. But your death itself will be grotesque, and that part's guaranteed now. You turned away my offer. So the dog's going to maul your face until it doesn't exist anymore. He just stops. He's like looking down at him.
And Miss was in the corner of the room over that dead cultist that he just killed, and he dematerializes and then materializes on the other side of Dunville and is just kind of looming over him and growling and baring his teeth as smoke pours out of them.
Nice.
As a final aside from me, and then I will turn you over, it has dawned on me. I don't need your help actually transporting the electroplasm. This church is kind of mine now, so we'll just figure that out. So go ahead and strike that from the accord that we had struck. I will also be taking your relic that you showed off. That was the mistake. We'll be using that one as well. And if you know of more of that, that'd be fantastic, because that's a bit of a personal agenda for me. Do you have anything to say at all, really? And he's just swiping off the blood on his blade and kind of
Yeah. He pulls down the front of his robe, and you see he's got the relic that you're talking about. He's you say I'll be taking that, and he pulls it down to expose it. It's a stone, like a polished opal kind of stone, sort of egg shaped, nestled between 2 pieces of metal. You guys have seen this before. It's the symbol of Kotar. It kind of looks like two trapezoids, base to base, and he's strapped it to his body, so it's like touching his chest, his bare flesh. You can see he's strapped it to himself with gauze, black gauze. He bears it like this, and as he does so, although you have reflexes, remember, but the stone glimmers seductively in your eye, Jeff, and Careless's eye. You're immediately drawn to the luster of the artifact. And he says, "Well, then take it." And before you know what's going on, you see your hand reaching out to take it off his chest.
Okay, and this, I mean, this is obviously where I intervene. Now is he grabbing the thing?
No, he's just exposing it so Careless
just open. Okay,
and like grab it off him.
Now, before I go like getting handsy with a fucking cursed whatever, can I look at it and does it twinge any knowledge of what it would do if I grabbed it?
Aldo's very well read. In fact, you took a point of trauma at one point investigating all this shit in the library and becoming obsessed with everything. Mm-hmm. So you've definitely read through a bunch of stuff. You are familiar with the lore in general about these things. And yeah, the lore in general is that there's conflicting accounts of who Kotar really was, a legendary hero or a horrible necromancer or who knows. But in the tales, there's always this kind of caveat about there's either a nice King Arthur version where like you have to be worthy to handle these things, and those that are unworthy, can't do it. And then some other parts of the lore are that they're cursed, and like anyone who comes into contact with these things will be ruined by their power, and you should never ever touch them or get involved with them. So conflicting accounts, but you know enough to know like you don't really want. It would be very unsafe for you to interact with the thing.
Okay, so I'm just gonna punch him in the face then.
Okay, nice.
Try and like if it deals with his concentration, I'm gonna try and break his concentration by punching him in the face.
You're not sure if that's how it works, but I mean, face punching is always the right plan, right? So
yeah, I see Careless reaching for it. I go to reach for it, and then I take my left hand and just grab his clothes, and I just go pop.
Yeah, nice.
I still get a resist roll even if what he's doing has no relevancy.
Yes.
By the way.
Yep, you may resist if you don't want to touch it.
And I'm not. Oh, by the way, I'm not aiming to knock him out. I'm aiming to give him pain.
Oh, I rolled a 6 anyways.
Nice resist.
Nice.
I mean, he like I think it's like a funny interrogation moment where Aldo just like swings in lightning quick and just smashes him across the face.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
Aldo, you actually learned something here because you beat him to the punch. He's pulling the thing out and he's saying to Careless like, go ahead and take it. And you crack him a good one. His eyes roll back in his head and he goes out. He like flash knockout for a second. His head lolls on his shoulders and just goes limp. You're like holding him up by the robe. And you see out of the corner of your eye that has no effect whatsoever on Careless. Careless keeps reaching and then stops himself mid-reach.
Okay.
And you see him like steel himself. But you learn in this moment like, oh, okay, yeah, it doesn't work that way. It still has its effect whether he's conscious or not.
Okay.
I think there's like a laugh angry Careless then who like snaps out of it, looks back and says, Miss Caterpie, if you would please, need your services. It'd be great. And then he looks back at Dunville and is like, you got to stop with that. You have to. Aldo, this man knows people that were interacting with Belle. I'm going to turn him over to you. But if you find the patience, I want the dog to maul him. It's a promise. You have to understand when I make promises, they're like in my blood. It has to happen. So if you can. I understand if you lose control, it's something that happens to all of us. But if you could, I want the dog to eat his face. And he like throws up his arms and walks away.
I take one of the daggers that I picked up from the floor, and I get it underneath the chain with the stone on it, and try and like break it off of him.
Yeah, it's like strapped to him with gauze. So if you tip him over with his robe and then cut the straps, it'll fall off him onto the floor.
Okay, that's what I want to do. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. He's like all rattled from getting smashed in the face by Aldo, so he doesn't really fight or anything. He flails his arms slightly, and then tung tung tung, this thing drops out. Yep. It's pretty large. It's like 16 inches high and.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, these two big pieces of metal holding the stone. It clatters to the floor.
Okay.
And Miss Cataby, as you're walking over, I hang on. 1 on 2 and 2. Yeah, so the knights finish off the rest of the cultists. Unless you change their commands midstream here, Jeff. The knights are just like in kill mode, and they slaughter guys.
Finish them all off.
Yeah, okay, they do. And a couple of the knights, after they're done with the killing blows, Miss Cataby's like walking. Are you going over there, Marcus? Is that okay? Miss Cataby, so we see as you're walking past the final like blow of the knight, like cutting one of the cultists from shoulder to hip, and he like dies messily out of the corner of your eye. Blood splatters, and like Jesus. And then a couple of the knights, they go back into their sort of rest position. And one of them goes down and takes a knee and struggles to stand up again. You realize that one of the cultists has like cut the tendons on the back of his knee or something. They're not reacting behind their helmets, but there's a couple of them are sort of damaged and fucked up by the fight.
Marcus, when I call for Cataby, is it safe to assume you're walking in that direction?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think then I like pass you coming the other way, and I just say, he has one of the Kotar items. It's a necklace thing. If you can handle it, if you could take it, please. And then he just keeps walking to go help finish the fight or whatever.
Okay.
Great.
You pass each other, careless as you, Miss Cataby. You're holding the stone heart, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As you get closer, you see that it's not that like everyone else. You kind of have this heartbeat connection to the humans. As you pass close enough by with Careless, you see that you also have the same thing with Careless, but there's a black void instead of a heart. There's this like empty space. And just briefly, you're not compelled to do this or anything, but you have this feeling of like, oh, I could just put that right in there. I could just put the stone. It would fit right there. Yeah. That's just perfect fit. Okay.
Do I feel anything?
How much of a demon were you again? 2d6?
2 or 4.
Let's see. Go ahead and make a fortune roll, Jeff. 2d6 right. Demon hood. See how
2d6 you said?
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, you see it out of the corner of your eye. It doesn't register. Like the way the artifact on Dunville kind of drew you in and was seductive. This one, you're just like, I mean, obviously he's carrying a weird rock. You know it's something important, but it doesn't have any like mystical vibe to you. Yeah. Okay. Miss Cataby, you come over and you see this thing on the floor. Myth is crouched over him and is slowly but surely shifting away from it. Not with a lot of awareness, but the thing was only a few feet away from Myth, and Myth is like circling the other way around to get over where to the other side of Dunville, like still following the commands, like, oh, I'm supposed to be on top of this dude and intimidating him, but kind of unconsciously making space away from the artifact on the floor. And as you approach it, you get that same familiar feeling. This thing, that's one of yours. It's one of your things that you've been missing.
I think just getting more and more comfortable with that feeling, I have no problem going up and just grabbing it.
Yeah. If you don't want to go through the attune thing again here, you can just pick it up without like getting in touch with it. If you want to, you can try to attune to it right now, but otherwise you just pick it up.
No,
nothing.
I just want to pick it up for now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Everyone holds their breath slightly, and you just pick it up, and it's cool to the touch. The metal is unusual. It's got that kind of iridescent quality like the stone does, where it's shimmery in the light, but it's cool to the touch. The stone in the middle doesn't glow or react to you right now, but it just seems perfectly safe.
Nice.
Yep.
I pocket it.
All right. Yeah. It like goes in your satchel. It's kind of big. Like, Aldo, you're there. You and Myth looming over this dude. His eyes roll back down, and he looks at you, and he looks down, sees it's gone, and then immediately snaps his head up towards Careless, walking away safely, and then his eyes narrow, like fuck.
Yeah. So I kind of get on my haunches, and I'm talking to him directly.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. But first, I want to know what your ideal outcome of this situation would be. Now, before you answer, bear in mind that this dog here is going to eat your face off. That's going to happen. However, after that, there's many things that could happen, like Carolus said. So, if I were to ask you, what's the ideal outcome for you, knowing that that's going to happen, what would your answer be?
I do not fear death.
That's not what I asked now.
This is just his opening line.
No, I know, and I interrupt him. Like, that's not what I asked.
Like, bitch, I interrupt you.
Yeah. Like, that has nothing to do with it. You're dead. You're already going to die. Probably right here. So, continue.
He looks over. He sees Miss Cataby like pocket the artifact and holding the heart, and he's agog at that. You know that she's just like do. I'll just boop, 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 boop. I'll just put him in my bag, and he shakes his head. It's just like. Oh, I should ask you this, Zeke. I'm putting you on the spot here. This guy's like very connected and like knows a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
He would call you by like a full name or something if he could. Is that possible? Does Aldo have like a family name, he and Belle, that this guy would know, or is it that not a thing? I know it's weird to put you on the spot right now and be like, think of a cool name. But
No, I think we would have had a few different last names being like shuffled around from orphanages and maybe some foster parents and whatever, and they would have called us like Black Boot or like
Haig is
cast iron or something like that. Like like our first names wouldn't change, but our last names would, depending on who owned us at the time or who was watching over us at the time.
Yeah.
So I think he could rattle off several different like
nice
last names that would ring true for me.
Yeah, Haig is the city-wide name for orphans. They're generally, it's some tradition in the city.
There you go. Perfect.
No one knows where it comes from, but Haig is, that's probably what he would start with as Aldo Haig, and then maybe he would rattle off some of your foster names as well, to show that he like really knows who you are. But we'll just, for now, we'll say he just says Aldo Haig. My desired outcome for this is what your sister wanted.
Now, I'll warn you, opening that door might have consequences for you. So,
For me?
tread fucking lightly.
She was on the right path. She knows. She knew. Oh shit. No, he says she knows. He says she knows. Because he knows that her spirit is still around somewhere. Like maybe he doesn't know that it's in the notebook that you have, but like yeah, he would use present tense. She knows the righteous path for humanity is not to consort with demons and corrupted scum of the ancient world, forgotten gods, things left buried in the past, and not to drag us back again into the world of the cataclysm and death and destruction that the Emperor created. We are forging a new destiny for humanity. Belle understood that. You could have followed in her footsteps, if not for the corruption of these things. He's like looking at Carolus in the distance. It's not too late, Aldo. You don't have to let her go. It's not too late for any of you except that thing. You can still destroy him before it's too late.
Because we're in this kind of like underground stone chamber, we can all hear him talking, I'm assuming, and like
oh yeah, you're right.
He says Bell, and it kind of echoes through the chamber. And that gets Rune's attention. And I stand up straight and I'm just like watching from a distance. But Myth, who is kind of an extension of Rune, snarls when he hears him say her name.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
He doesn't move forward yet because he's still waiting for the command, but he's pissed that he is even speaking about her.
Uh-huh. Yeah, see, Denville makes his plea, like, to the room at large. Like, we could be on the same team. Why are you allied with this thing? This thing that wants to destroy humanity. That's the enemy of all that's human. And, like, I don't think he can sway you here in terms of resistance rolls or anything, because I don't think any of you are on the precipice. Are you? Is anyone on the precipice of turning against the demon in your midst? I don't think you are, but no. I should ask the question.
No, I'm not on the precipice of turning against him, but I'm still like, I consider him a friend, but that doesn't mean I'm not wary of what that means.
Yeah, you get the sense from Dunville that he's being totally straight. He's not lying. Mm-hmm. I mean, he believes what he's saying, whether it's true or not. He totally believes it. Mm-hmm. That demons are going to destroy humanity and they're the root of evil. And why would you possibly side with him? And you put the question to him, what's your desired outcome here? And, mm-hmm. and that's essentially what he's saying to you. Like, my desired outcome is for humanity to be ascendant and for demonhood to be destroyed once and for all, and for us to be free of. And actually, he'll embellish it, like, then these are like secrets essentially that he knows that you guys don't necessarily as average citizens of Duskwall. I think as players of Blades in the Dark, these aren't like super crazy revelations, but he says he blames the Emperor for the cataclysm. He says that the Leviathan blood coursing like cursed ichor through the veins of civilization has spread to every city-state in the Empire. It corrupts us all. It corrupts the ghost field, the Leviathan blood, the plasms created from it, all the blood of ancient demons has made this civilization. And you wonder why our ghosts become corrupted and mad. You wonder why the ghost field has been broken, and we can no longer ascend. It is because of them. It's because we have poisoned our world with their filth, and we have to be free of it once and for all. That's what I want. That's what I want from this. I don't care if I die here. There are more like me. They will not give up this cause. You can destroy me. You can destroy what we built in the church. But you cannot stop our cause.
You say there's more like you. I want to know, who do you work for, really? And if you say something like humanity as a whole, I'm going to punch you in the face again.
He says, I am an adept of the Circle of Flame.
Right.
Which again is like a secret. That's like a super secret society that he's wouldn't normally say, but you guys as characters and us as players, we already kind of know that. But it is a revelation in his terms to actually say it out loud like that, to reveal his true affiliation.
Right. And when we were talking during the break, you said he might know who has the power to make these ghosts. What's the word for the sentient ghosts, the ghosts that aren't mad?
Reconciled.
The reconciled. Yes, thank you. He knows who can make them reconciled?
Yes, he definitely knows people like that, and he very well may know the proper rituals himself. I don't know how to do that. Depends on how like advanced he is, but he seems to be a real high-ranking dude. So yeah, he understands reconciled ghosts, and as much as you can, like it's Lord Suker had that whole crazy operation out in the Deathlands investigating all this shit. It's not something you just kind of read a book about. But yeah, Aldo would think that this guy would know shit for sure.
Right. Now, is that, because I don't want to misremember anything. Is that what Bell really wanted, was to be reconciled?
That's kind of the impression we got. I mean, again, I kind of defer to Anne in terms of what Belle really wants and what her deal is.
Yeah. Okay. So I really need to talk to Belle again.
Yeah, but the last time you talked to her, the only time you talked to her, it was revealed that she wanted to live forever. That's why she left the city and went on her voyage, and their misfortunes befell her during that experience. But I think she didn't like lay out the whole story to you during that conversation. There's stuff that you don't know. But yeah, I think it's fair to say that she was being truthful about that, and Aldo knows that was her quest, was to try to live forever.
All right, so I look down at him. Now see if and I lean really close to him so no one else can hear me. If somebody wanted to become reconciled, and I'm not saying who, and I'm not saying he's the guy talking to you right now, but if he was, who would he talk to? And be quiet when you answer me.
So everyone else, well, let's see. Aldo, how sneaky can you be?
Okay.
You want to have a private conversation in this echoey room with this dude while everyone's standing around watching? That's pretty fucking hard.
I could see a bad roll. Like he's louder than he thinks he is.
Yeah. I think you got to go for it here. It sounds like you are. What are you doing? It's finessey. It's I could see prowl also, like, you know, being subtle and sneaky is prowl, but feels like finesse, a bit of finesse, a little whisper, a little.
Okay.
Roll rec to mask your voice. Yeah, good idea, chat.
Yeah.
Start smashing the ground. Yeah, give us your one die of finesse there. I think you have finesse, don't you, Aldo?
I do. I have one dot in finesse.
Let's see if you can cover here, or your
to
friends.
The dice gods.
Yeah.
Position.
Controlled standard.
Okay.
I'm feeling a 4.
You got a devil's bargain for me?
You do it, but you fart, and everyone thinks it's
Yeah. Do I have a devil's bargain for you? I mean, yeah, I do. It's not worth a die, I don't think. I guess I should say it though.
I'll tell you, even though it's crappy.
You devil's bargaining yourself, John?
I mean, you never know what you'll accept. Zeke's always up for stuff, right? You lean in really close. This is a devil's bargain. You can reject this because you see it.
Mm-hmm.
And he stabs you.
Yeah, kind of. You lean in really close to have this little private moment, and you're holding him by the cloak. you're sort of holding him up, his torso where his legs pinned, and his head's lolling, his jaw is smashed from where you punched him. And as you lean in, he reaches out and grabs you by the hair, pulls you in to have this, and that it'll help you have this whispered conversation, and it'll look like to everyone else that he's saying something to you. But as he does that, you feel something prick you. You feel something prick you in the back of the neck. But you can pull away and not take the devil's bargain, because you can like nope, fuck, get off me. But that'll make it tougher for you to whisper it to him.
Now, Zeke, after that, he does want to tell you it'll be level 4 harm you die. But do you want?
I'll take it.
Look at this wild man.
So I get a bonus dice.
You get a bonus die. He is, because the way Devil's Bargains works, he is pricking you with the thing. That is happening.
Oh, I know.
Roll goes. Okay. All right.
Okay. Come on. The 2 6s would be very nice right now.
Double ones.
A 5.
5.
It's a success.
Success, yes.
Was it worth
Okay,
it?
so he pricked you with whatever that is, and I think that the consequence here will be reduced effect. It'll be like a very brief exchange. You can't have a whole whispered conversation with the guy.
Okay.
Out of other people's hearing, but you can say a few things to him, and everyone just they hear you whisper something, but they don't know what you guys are saying. So what's your brief whisper to this guy?
Who would I talk to?
No, that's what I whispered. What I whispered was, who do I talk to if I want to get reconciled?
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
that's what caused the roll. My bad.
And like, since he like grabbed me and stuff, I want to make it look like I'm struggling, and the prick like on my neck makes it look even better. To make it look like I'm not doing something, like I'm not like pulling the wool over anybody's eyes.
Yeah, I think what they see that interaction, and they hear a short whisper back and forth, but it may look to them like he's whispering stuff to you, not that you're like trying to get something out of him.
Right.
He says, like, he smiles when he feels the prick happen, and he moves his hand down, and you see he's wearing a ring, and there must be something on the underside of it. The ring briefly glows with electroplasmic blue light. And he relaxes a little bit, and he says, once I'm dead, I can lead you to what you seek. We're connected now. It'll be okay, Aldo.
It's goddamn leftovers.
And then my last question is, how do I contact you?
I'll contact you once I'm.
And then I rip my head off of him. I rip my own head off.
Damn,
no,
dude,
I rip my body off of him, grabbing where he pricked me, and then I look at well, let's see. Well, I want to cue the dog that it's his turn.
Right. You're like, get off me and finish him off, Myth. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think probably of everyone, Miss Cataby has reason to be a little suspicious about what just happened there. She's very good at reading people, and that little exchange was a little suspect.
Right, sure.
But if you don't immediately like interfere, Marcus, then that will go off. It'll happen, and Myth will attack.
You know, I actually thought about that while Zeke was doing his thing, but I'm also maybe thinking that I'm distracted by the artifact that I just picked up.
Oh, well, that's fair. That's totally fair. Yeah, and that angling for some XP there, maybe even you have this opportunity to do something, and you're like, oh no, I'm too into my shit.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. Yeah. Maybe you're even like looking at it, like in the satchel, you're looking at this thing. Cool.
I think as they're, with that happening, then with the myth mauling Dunville and destroying him, Careless finishes off with the knights or whoever, the last couple guys, and then kind of comes over to Miss Cataby and looks at, he walks up, smiles politely. I mean, he was always smiling. Looks at her, looks down at the relic, and then just kind of keeps looking at the relic and says, Miss Cataby, these items give you a power. You are a unique person to be able to use that. We've covered this. I would just kindly ask that you don't use that power over me, and that you perhaps continue to think of me as an ally, to which you can help me use these items to ultimately claim my ultimate prize, which is to take back that which is mine from Satara, and probably destroy her as well. You are paramount in this. I need you.
I'm sorry. Are you scared of me right now?
Fear is a human emotion. The best I can equate it to is I have a respect for the potential situation that could arise. It's close to fear, but it's more of I'm jealous of the power that you potentially wield over me. But I also acknowledge that if this were a different situation, I would ask for a pact, and then I would have the ability to control you down to your molecular level and ask that you follow what I want, not so much because you want to, but because you would literally be torn into pieces on virtue of your own desires otherwise. I'm a salesperson demon. What I did before was make pacts. I'm asking, the human part of me now is asking that we make this pact just out of common interests.
I think there is kind of like a little smirk from Cataby, and I just say, I think I've already shown what my loyalty is, Careless. You don't need to worry about me.
Very good. There's more where this came from, by the way. We have several other items to obtain, so your ability to wield these shall only grow. I'm excited for you, honestly. That's what this is about. I'm happy for you.
I think the only thing I say is maybe I ask one favor in return, and that's that you just trust me with the artifacts.
There is nobody else, Miss Cataby.
I don't mean physically. I just mean, perhaps there's a task or something we must do with the artifacts. I just ask that you have some faith.
As you say this, he kind of brings his arm up like this and rubs his chin and kind of looks off and is like, this is a concept I do not know very well, but from what I understand, this is a bit of a two birds in one stoning moment. From what I understand of that concept, I will do my best to put my faith into you. Yes, you are my. Another term I've recently learned is you are my horse. And as I understand it, people gamble and bet and place a lot of love and respect into horses. So that means that I have that for you.
As crazy as it is, Cataby totally understands the analogy that Careless Firm just made. And you know what? Actually, to seal the deal, Cataby puts out her hand to shake.
Oh shit!
There's he's in elevate. He's got his battle gear on and stuff like that. And as he looks at that, he kind of looks away and wipes his hands down of blood and reaches out and shakes your hand and says, "I feel so much better. Thank you."
Marcus, are you holding the heart in your hand when you do that?
I mean, I think I've got both the artifacts now in my bag.
They're in the bag?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. You shake hands.
And after that exchange, I just speak to Rune.
Yeah, good.
It might be forward of me to say, but I think Myth looks hungry, and there's a promise to keep. So, I'm done with him.
And Rune just winks at Aldo. Also, I really love the idea that Dunville is laying on the ground, trapped under this thing, and it's like, do you trust me? Do you want to shake my hand? We're like having this whole discussion while this dude's just laying there, like just waiting to die.
Yeah. Is
a 4. Myth is not rolling great today. Yeah.
Well, he's merciless, right? So he just does it, I guess.
Yeah, it's not clean. Myth is gonna, kill him with many wounds. It's not just the bite to the throat. It's like a goring that happens behind you during this.
That's like worse.
It is kind of worse, yeah.
It's funny.
Well, I'm gonna give Dunville his iron will here because he fucked it up earlier. So he actually doesn't like scream and cry out. He just like sit out, and the dog kills him. It's bad, but he gets finished off.
That makes it worse too, actually.
I don't want to interrupt your conversation here because it's cool. We are kind of running out of time, but I do want to say something happens when he dies.
Yeah,
that Rune especially might care about.
Before I walk away from him and do my whole like thing, he showed me a ring, right?
Well, he was wearing a ring.
That's what he pricked you with. It had like a hidden needle in it or something.
Okay, I take that off of him before I walk away from him. If that's okay. If that's not okay, then I don't.
He's dead, John.
If you want to do the thing that you talked about, you should leave the ring on him.
Oh. Do you guys?
I see what you're saying.
Do you
Room
smell?
takes the ring.
It smells like DM bullshit. Jesus.
Like
So pungent.
you're talking to him and you make this arrangement. He's like, I'll come and find you. And you go to take the ring off him when you're leaving. And he's like, no, don't.
Okay.
I need that on me for the connection. It's my it's my spirit modem.
Yeah, well, that's fair. I mean, that's a fair thing. Like if I go to take it off,
Wi-Fi extender.
Because he's not dead or anything. He's just waiting to get eaten. So if I go to take it off and he shakes his head at me, then I'm not going to do it.
Devil's advocate, you have a bit of an addiction for arts and crafts things, Zeke.
Arts and crafts.
Right? Artistry, old items. Maybe the relic's got a picture of a gremlin or some shit.
Yeah.
Anything.
You can take it anyway.
No. It's okay. I won't.
All right.
Before we do wrap though, and we don't have to RP this if you don't want to, but I would like to have a conversation with the church real quick, and I can just tell you what I would say. If that's all right. This is where I pile on the bullshit.
I would like to RP it. I mean, if that's okay, if you don't mind.
You guys are okay with couple min RP?
I mean, if we do it next time, maybe. What's what I'm saying. Unless, do you really need to do it today?
No.
Well, so you said something happens when this guy dies.
Yeah, something happens when he dies.
Okay.
Right here. So, Myth finally gets in the killing blow, and the room, the ectoplasm in the channel, in bubbles and sparks against the walls. Most of the dead bodies, not the one that Miss Cataby killed with the electroplasmic ammo, but the rest of them levitate up off the floor, like drawn by puppet strings from their chest, kind of like, and then get dropped again. And Dunville as well. Like Myth steps back as this power gets expelled, like, and all the bodies drop to the floor. And there's all like spirits, all of the dead corpses and Dunville's. They all rush up through the ceiling like Indiana Jones style, like all the ghosts go whistle out of the room, out through the ventilation in the top.
In my mind, I just hear that like droid or whatever the shit that is from Star Wars. It's like they've gone up the ventilation shaft.
Their ghosts are in the ventilation shaft.
Those droids are so stupid.
I'm guessing you don't want to do any desperate attuning and shit with that. You just some magical shit goes down and they whisk away.
Yeah, they just fuck off to wherever they're going.
Yeah.
Well, that does not seem good.
I like that as a final line for the episode. That does
Fade
not
to black. Great credits.
all the
Got
bodies
it.
on the floor.
Well, I'm just going to say part of what I wanted to. I mean, I know there's a bigger conversation, but I want to donate 50% of the ectoplasm to the church as a gesture of goodwill, and then I want to sell the other 50%.
Yeah, we can like hand wave the clearing out of this place. So next time when we start, you know, you can talk to the church officials or whatever, but we don't need to play out like how you getting this shit out of here and all that crap. We can hand wave that stuff.
It's just a payday. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so I just want to put that.
Yeah. I think a conversation with what's his name? Whose name I'm forgetting his name right now. Caro is in order for sure.
Okay.
He agreed that you were the demon messiah and you went and cut out the corruption in the church, so he's going to want to talk to you for sure.
Don't let me forget that, chat. That's our payday.
Yes, I'll make a note of it as well. And we're at time. I know people got to go. They got to do stuff. I don't know if we have time to do XP. Maybe we should just cut it and we'll handle XP off screen. I can send you guys. We can deal with that over email and stuff.
Sure.
That sounds fine.
Okay, cool. Great. Let's do shout outs and wrap it up. Marcus, you wanna start us off?
Yeah, sorry for random bleeps, bloops, and all sorts of other sound issues that may have happened today. It's just nice to be back. Should have office back to normal by next week. So don't quote me on that, but hopefully that'll be the case. Thank you again for all the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. It's nice to get back into playing. And I'll see you again next week for another episode of Blades.
Yeah. Back on schedule. AnneMunition?
Yeah. I literally just moved yesterday, so that's why this whole setup is goofy. But I am hopefully going to get back to streaming as soon as possible. I will be gone for a couple days at the end of this coming week, but I am going to set up my studio stuff starting tonight. I don't know if we're gonna get all of it done tonight, but I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, go get some food. I haven't eaten like real food in a couple days because we had to like pack up our kitchen. So I need to go eat something, and then I know I told you guys we would do a Sunday studio rebuild, so that'll probably be in like 2 hours ish. So I will see you guys then. Thanks for the show, guys. I'm excited to get back into like regular shows. Next week should be like a full regular show because I will have everything together.
Nice. Yeah, me too. Look forward to that. Zeke.
Yo. Ezekiel the Third here. Good show, everybody. Short or not, it was awesome. I had a lot of fun. Thank you to JP behind the scenes for doing everything. Variety Caster usually start at noon Pacific every day. I'm not going to be broadcasting after this because I'm going to go see if my mom wants to hang out because it's Mother's Day, right? Nice. So I'm going to go see if my mom wants to hang out. Maybe I'll bring her some food or something. But tomorrow I will be back at my regular time, and I don't have anything to do for the next 3 weeks, like as far as leaving or being away. So I will be broadcasting at my normal times every day except Fridays. So noon Pacific. That's all I got.
Cool. Jeff Robinson.
Thank you. I want to give special shout out to Anne and Marcus for doing the show. We had missed a few weeks, and this was another weekend that would have been easy to miss, but we just really want to do the show. But those guys in particular had things to, moving is fucking stressful. I think everyone knows it. If there's anyone in chat that's like, actually, I like moving, you're a goddamn liar. Shut up. Get out of here. Everyone hates moving. So thank you guys so much for doing that. And then I'm really excited to get back in the swing of things as well. I think we'll talk after about going forward. But for me personally, I've got some content that I'm going to be doing about Total War Warhammer 2 that'll go up on my YouTube this next week. I get to do an event with those guys and get a first look at the game, and I'll put that out there. So if you follow my Twitter and that kind of stuff, I'll let you know when it's coming out. And then Darkest Dungeon is having some DLC launch, I believe, on the 19th. I never numbers and dates on the internet I don't trust, but soon I'll be playing that as well on my channel, which is iNcontroLtv on Twitch. And I just can't say enough. I just love the show. Love doing this so much. I don't know how much I like it until we're doing it, and then I'm sitting there like, 6 more hours. Let's do 6 more hours. I don't fucking, but we can't, and I have to wait. But that's part of what's so good about it. So I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. And if you are, make sure and proselytize and spread the word. We've missed 3 weeks, so some people might have fallen off the wagon. Get them back in there. Talk up Blades. Tweet it. Post about it. There's going to be a Q&A thread on JP's subreddit. Ask John uncomfortable questions. Piss him off. Tell him he's a better DM than Adam. All that. Just start drama. I don't know. Let's get viral. Let's do it. Probably don't start drama. That's it for me.
Yeah. Tell me I'm a better GM than Adam. That'll really piss me off a lot. Thanks everybody for watching. We will head out. Our cams are all messed up. Marcus left us. Thank you so
Marcus
much.
Dropped.
Like Jeff said, spread the word on Blades if you're into it, and we'll get everybody back on the wagon now that we're back and our schedules aren't messed up anymore.
I look great. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're perfect. We will cut out now. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and go to the forum for the Q&A thread, and we will see you next time on Roleplay Blades. Bye.